Bless the Lord, O my soul, blessed art thou, Lord. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name.
Does your priest roll into the church parking lot in a Bentley? Recently, we had Bishop Alexei of Alaska as the speaker at our Washington Orthodox Clergy Association meeting, which was hosted by our monastery. And he came with an appeal. The problem that they were having was that they have all of these parishes in Alaska with priests that get an average of $7,000 a year income from their parish. The poverty line for the state of Alaska is $27,000. So think about it. That's a terrible number. Is it any wonder that most priests' sons do not want to be a priest because they've grown up in poverty? Is it any wonder that so many of those priests in the Diocese of Alaska end up having to walk away from ministry because they cannot support their families? This is a tragedy. But it's not just a tragedy that is based in Alaska. The median income in the state of California is about $107,000 a year. And yet the median income of the average priest is more like $40,000. That is pretty disgusting. So many people just presume that because somebody becomes a priest that they're willing to live in poverty. I actually heard somebody say once that, well, priests should be living in poverty. They don't have much money, they don't need it, and their wives should be barefoot and pregnant. Can you imagine hearing somebody say that? I don't even remember what my response was, but I'm sure that it wasn't very friendly. I want to read something to you from 1 Corinthians 9:13. Do you know that those who minister the holy things eat of the things of the temple, and those who serve at the altar partake of the offerings of the altar? Even so, the Lord has commanded that those who preach the gospel should live from the gospel. This is a clear indication from the scriptures that priests should be supported by their congregations. Priests cannot minister to those that they come in contact with who are in need if they themselves are so poverty-stricken that they can't even support their families. How can we take care of our priests? Well, one thing, of course, is tithing. Joachim and Anna are a good example. They tithed a third of their income to the temple, a third of their income to the poor, and they kept for themselves only a third of their income. The scriptures charge that we should tithe 10% of our income. And yet how many Orthodox Christians even bother to do that? If they did, we wouldn't have priests living in poverty, and we would have more priest sons wanting to serve the church as priests. To become a priest requires an education and skills and commitment. One priest friend of mine told me years ago that he had a planned camping trip for his family, the one vacation they could afford, a camping trip in a tent. And a few days before they were to leave, someone in his parish died And he found another priest that said, "Oh, I could do the funeral for you." But the family of the deceased insisted, "Oh no, she was a regular member of your parish. We only want you as the parish priest to take care of her funeral needs." And so the priest had to cancel his camping trip with his children, which was devastating to them. And because his wife had a job to help support them, they couldn't change the date to accommodate the camping trip. Whose fault was this? Did the deceased really absolutely need to have her priest serve her funeral? Absolutely not. It still would have been in the church, and it would have still been performed by an Orthodox priest. We need to stop being so selfish. We need to start looking as how we can help our parish priest. What can we do for them? We can tithe, of course, 10% of our income. We can also offer meals. If you are someone who has carpentry skills, you can offer to help rebuild their parish, the rectory's porch if it needs to be done, so they don't have to spend money on it. If you have extra children's clothing because your children have grown out of them, why not contribute those clothes to your parish's family, your parish priest's family, so his children can have those clothes to wear? If you have a car that you're going to trade in on a new car, why not consider giving your car to your parish priest so that he has a car that is operable and that he doesn't have to keep pouring money that he doesn't have into repairs? All of us need to be sure that we remember to pray for our priests. And we need to remember to pray for their families and to be good to them, not treating them as some sort of indentured servants, but as priests of the Holy Trinity. These are priests that deserve your love and your respect and your support. Don't leave them off at the side of the road as though they're not worthy of your love and your support. May God help us all to live our lives as Orthodox Christians in every way, including giving love and support to the priests that have sacrificed so much in order to serve you.
If you have found this content to be a blessing, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Both now and ever and unto the ages of ages. Amen. Only begotten Son and immortal Word of God,